It's time for some dead good beer from the dead centre of Ireland. It is, of course, Dead Centre Brewing, and this is their flagship oatmeal IPA. It is Marooned, and it is a fantastic go-to beer. It's now a fridge filler of mine, so that's up next. Hey, welcome back to Views and Brews. I am Brendan, and this is Marooned from Dead Centre Brewing. It's $3.50 a can, which it says clearly on the top from my local off license. I'm going to get it into the glass, and we're going to get on with a no-nonsense beer review. It's Friday night, and I actually wanted to buy this beer in particular. A couple of reasons. One, it's from a local brewery, not too far down the road from me. Two, it's the kind of beer that I want to drink right now. Just a no-nonsense kind of IPA with a bit of bitterness going on in it as well. And there's a third reason, but I'll tell you that in just a minute. Let's have a little look at this beer. Yeah, nice murky sort of light to mid amber colour, tinge of coppery tones, but by and large it's sort of orange and oily looking. A mousy sort of head going on the top of it. I wonder if I spin it up, does it come up a bit better? I mean, it seems reasonable ahead, but there are some large bubbles going on, so maybe it's not as stable as some other IPAs. Anyway, the aromas are unmistakable, kind of like a deep marmalade orange thing going on. Passion fruit, 100% passion fruit. And tropical sort of notes going on in there. Now, I know in this beer they've got Simcoe and Mosaic hops. I just want to check that I'm not... Yeah, Simcoe and Mosaic hops. Now, this is interesting because I've just brewed a black IPA with Simcoe and Mosaic in it, purely by chance. But when I picked up the beer in the off-license and saw that it had Simcoe and Mosaic in it, I wanted to get the beer because I wanted to know what it was like in an IPA versus the black IPA that I've just brewed. Still in the fermenter at the minute, so I don't really know. This is going to have an interesting take on it because this one's got oats in it, and it has a kind of a West Coast kind of feel to it. Let's give it a go. Cheers, Slancher. Yeah, you've got bitterness going on in here, but you've also got a nice kind of grainy, silky, thick mouthfeel going on in this beer as well. So the oats fill this beer out. It's only 5.5%, so it's a really perfectly sessionable IPA session strength. So whereas some beers, you'd say session strength was around 4%, if you are going to go with an IPA and it's got a bit of bitterness going on in there as well, 5.5% is perfectly sessionable as well. There's a pungency going on, but there's also in the back of that, there's the Mosaic comes through. There's a bit of berry going on, a bit of floral character, a bit of passion fruit, a bit of tropical. Mosaic is such a good hop to really fill out any kind of hop profile. So if you put Mosaic with anything, it's just going to help it along. It's a wonder hop, really, but so is Simcoe in its own right. Simcoe's a really pungent sort of hop. I absolutely love the aroma profile of this beer and the flavour of it. Interestingly, there's a decent bit of bitterness when you start to drink the beer, but it lingers, but not in an offensive way. A nice kind of drinkable way. Yeah, there's a decent head there. I love it. I love the hop in here. I love that it isn't so forceful that you couldn't say, hey, let's get 2 or 3 of these. And that's something that breweries need to consider when they're making these flagship type beers is, can you just have 1 or is it going to be 2 or 3? What do they say on the back? Is our oatmeal India Pale Ale, and it's brewed under contract by our friends at 12 Acres Brewing. Silky, smooth body, absolutely, using locally grown and certified organic Kilbeggan oats, which is really good to see. pale malt, red X, and the red is obviously giving it that little bit of a tinge, that orange amber tinge that you can see. It also has pearl hops in it, I forgot that. Brewed by the River Shannon. Yeah, just an all-round really nice sessionable, easy drinking IPA. Decent bit of bitterness, but that bitterness drops off, so it's not too harsh that you can't go in for another can of it. Fantastic beer. Yep, that's Marooned. And now I'm gonna tip straight on to Seeking Sunshine, which is another one of Dead Center Brewing's beers. I want to get the two open and see what they're like. Cheers, slanchers, on to the next one. Bye-bye. I'm just finishing up on Marooned from Dead Center Brewing, and now I'm skipping over to another one of their core range, Seeking Sunshine. It is an easy drinking Citra and Amarillo Pale Ale. That's going to be fantastic. It's 5%. It's got what I love about these beers, just before I crack this one open, is it tells you the ingredients on the back: pale malt, oats, wheat, Citra, Amarillo, and that's it. 5%. Let's get it in the can. €3.50 from my local off license, so it's absolutely bang on the money for price. Let's have a look at this one. Slightly different in that it has a much more stable, better head than Marooned. I think the Marooned has a nice head on tap, but the one I just poured there has a less stable head than the Seeking Sunshine does. This one has a nice orange nose on it, maybe a bit of citrus going on, a bit of stone fruit going on in there. Very nice on the nose. Beautiful, in fact. Cheers, Slancher. Let's have a little go. Also a little bit hazy. Also a little bit, it's a bit brighter than Marooned. It has a little bit more sunshine going on in there. That is a proper, easy drinking pale ale. It has a bit of immediate bitterness, but it drops off quite quickly, that bitterness. So it's not really meant to be a bitter kind of beer. What does it say about the beer? We used a tried and tested base of pale malt, oats and wheats, and the cherry on the top comes from our large Citra and Amarillo additions. You get the Citra straight away, and there is a bit of backbone of stone fruit as well coming in. A bit of orange, tangerine, that kind of idea. Very, very nice on the nose and nice to drink. What I notice about both of these beers is that they're both beers that can be sessioned, and I like that because sometimes you don't want to move off of a beer. Sometimes you just want to have 2 or 3 pints of the same one, and I think these are both beers that fit in that category because they're not too forceful in the way that they present themselves. You could easily sit down and have 2 or 3 of these out in the garden. These are lawnmower IPAs and lawnmower pale ales in the sense that they can be drank 2 or 3 in a row without absolutely decking yourself. You know, nothing too heavy, but really nicely hopped. Nice base of malt as well. You get the malt in both of these beers. It says zesty. Yeah, definitely zesty. Kind of like orange zesty. And a bit of stone fruit in there. Maybe a touch of melon, it feels like as well. But just a small twinge of it. Yeah, that's my view on this brew. Both these brews, in fact, Marooned and Seeking Sunshine, both spot on beers. Cheers, Slancher. I'm off to have my dinner. It's Friday night. I'm going to have a few more beers. And it's on to the next one. Bye-bye.